Hi, Inventors Congress, right?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Okay. My name's Chris. Can I get your first name?
Deb?
Deb. Yeah, my name's Chris Roller. I don't know if you're aware of me. Does that name ring a bell, Chris Roller?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking about making a booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, the idea is a concept, and so I'm hoping that maybe something, looking at the 150 mark here, for the concept exhibit booth. The thing is my idea is a little bit unusual. Well, it's not unusual. I've actually tried to create a patent on it. It didn't get issued. It's called GodlyPowers. By the way, I claim to be God, you know.
Okay.
So this is part of what I'm asking is this, do you think this is appropriate?
No, because there's no product. You have to have a tangible product
Well,
the concept or the idea has to be a manufacturable or a something that is machined or has a utility,
Well,
and a social idea does not fit into the criteria.
okay, well, you're incorrect, I mean, it's okay to tell me if you don't like me, that's fine, but you're incorrect. I created the patent, and the patent was fine. It's just, they didn't tell me that the patent was not appropriate for creating the patent. So I'm walking into an Inventors Congress. I'm telling you right now that the patent was valid. It's just.
But you were not issued a patent.
But that's because they hate my guts, okay? They don't like me being God, okay? So, aside from the fact,
wow, this is quite an interesting angle that you're taking.
No. Well, it's very true. It's extremely true, though. But no, they never said that this was inappropriate for the patent. They just simply said, well, I'm sorry, but there's already a magic trick out there, so thus you can't create anything that. Somebody said the word magic 20 years ago.
But
so
if you look at what a patent, to get a patent issued, it has to be a processed or a manufactured item. There has to be a utility for it.
No, it's an idea, ma'am. It's an idea.
I know, but you can't patent. But you cannot. If you look at the true definition of what a patent is, there are very specific, novel, unique. It has to be non-obvious. It has to be something that is manufacturable. It has to be, if it's a manufacturing process, or it has to be something tangible that you can get your hands on and reproduce.
Ma'am, okay, I understand what you're saying, but Sue, the idea, the concept is that, okay, there's a word for it, but I can't remember the word you use in the patent system. It's been a little while, but what you use, you create patents from my idea. In other words, what I have is this concept, is this power called GodlyPowers out there, and the idea is to get others. The word is, I'm missing the word, but basically you can take an inheritance. You inherit my patent, and you create a patent based on that. So my idea, you can create. So say you can create a flying car from it. So somebody can create that. What I'm doing is creating the idea, and I have the power, and other people can take that idea and create inventions from it. It's new use is called. New use is the actual name of that in the patent system. New use, so you take somebody's idea and you say, I want to create something from it called new use patent, and you take stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm creating stuff that other people can create patents from. So I'm not just taking this whole concept called GodlyPowers. I'm saying, listen, I have an idea here. I like to get everybody's inspiration to see if we can get the patent system to understand that that they suck, for one, that they should have issued me this thing, but to get other people to jump on board and say, yeah, I got this idea for this kind of product that can be used using your GodlyPowers, Chris. So I'm not creating every product with GodlyPowers. I'm saying
you don't need permission to use it if that's the case.
I don't need permission to use what?
Your powers. If you claim you have this, there's nothing that a patent. I think what you have done is interpreted the wording or the language in your own way and not truly understanding the legal definition of what a patent is. And, I've been in this industry for 28 years, and what you're saying does not equate to how the law works or how getting a patent functions.
Sue, yeah, No, people were infringing on this thing, so I needed to create a. See, I sued David. I'm the guy that sued David Copperfield for having godly powers. You see, he's the. See, I allege that he's using.
But once something has been out for 1 year, you can't get a patent. Once it's publicly disclosed after a year, you can't get a patent for it.
No.
It's against. I mean, the laws don't allow it.
Sue, you act like I've never done this before. Listen, you're talking to a guy with a 150 IQ, so please bear with me here, okay?
But that doesn't mean that you have the ability to interpret every single component. I mean, literally, how long have you had these powers, and how long have you demonstrated them? Because if it's been over a year and it's publicly out there, you can't get a patent on something like that. Now, even if it is a product that you manufacture. I mean, there are laws that are designed around the patent system.
Sue.
It isn't how you can twist it to make it fit your situation. You have to figure out if it actually fits and applies. I mean, you can talk around it as much as you want. It doesn't change how the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has to function legally.
It's like you haven't listened to anything I said. When do you think that I applied for the? What's this 1 year thing? When do you think that I announced that I have godly powers? When do you think I have?
You said you did this years ago.
Yeah. So what's this 1 year thing? Do you know of anybody that said that they have godly powers? Do you know of anybody that's got this on a public magazine?
I don't know what you mean by in a public magazine.
Well, it's got to be. You said it's in public use for 1 year. You can't make a patent on it. So who has stated that they have godly powers?
Well, God has given all of us powers if we use them. If you're asking my personal opinion, God has given every one of us the ability to use some amazing powers. We just don't always apply them.
And you've used that in the court of law?
Why do I have to use it in the court of law?
Well, that's where the legal system decides what is truth and what's not.
Wow. I'm very confused.
Okay. Let me.
For our show, when it is an idea, you have to be able to draw out what the image is and what the product would be from the idea stage when you take it to actually building a prototype. As far as our specific show is concerned.
Ma'am, I could take an idea, simple concept, and put it on a drawing on a wall, and that is a possible invention. I have some other ideas as well, and that's all I need to do is come up with an idea. And I don't have to have a market. I don't have to have a product in my hand. I have an idea, and I come to somebody, and I say, and hopefully the idea is here, is I find somebody that can say, you know what, I can make a product out of that. That's the goal, is to find somebody that can say, you know what, I love that idea. I can do something with that. You want to partner up? And that's the idea.
But it doesn't change the fact that you have not told me that there is a product, not something that could possibly be. When somebody displays at our show, I mean, in our 54-year history, it is a manufacturable product. It isn't an idea that maybe somebody will come up with something in the future. Somebody may have a product, whether it is a new sewing needle or a new coffee cup or a new telephone, and you change it and add something to it, or you take a telephone and a camera and you make a new product out of that. That's a new use. Or a new use, when they are talking in the intellectual property world, is taking the gripper that was exhibited here in 1985. It's a cleat for tying boats down at a boat dock. Well, a new use for that exact same product is in the medical field on gurneys to tie down patients. They were issued a patent for a new use for that exact same product. That is how you, in general, identify what a new use is for intellectual property. But it is a product that it is made out of material. It is a process for manufacturing. It's a machine that'll slice off steel to make hockey pucks for practice. That is something that can be patented. Software for how applications work on a cell phone. It's something that can be manufactured, and you have to have equipment to be able to download it to. It's the equipment. So to pass through here, if you submit an application, a registration form, the judging committee would analyze it and determine if it meets our criteria.
Okay. I don't know if I want to go too much into definition of new use because I never quite got the thing issued. But that was the idea, is to take. See, the whole reason for the patent in the first place. The whole reason for the patent in the first place is because magicians were infringing on. See, they're using. I sued David Copperfield a while back. I'm the guy that sued David Copperfield. Anyway, it sort of made me a little bit famous back in 2005.
According to who?
About 3 people. So I'm famous to about 3 people.
Okay.
So, but in this, I alleged that David's using my godly powers for his magic tricks, and I want some compensation.
And you won the case.
Well, you have to understand this legal system's corrupt, right? So, anyways, you have to understand that in order to actually. But no, I didn't win the case. No, I didn't win the case, but I did find out that he's using my godly powers. And see, they said that there's no law to compensate me for that, right? So. That actually was a halfway legitimate case. The court systems didn't really hose me on that one. But what I did is I needed to create a patent so that I could then file for patent infringement on the magicians. So and that was the method in order to actually get these people. See, magicians won't actually acknowledge that they have godly powers. You see, I'm the only person.
They don't. It's imagery. All they are doing is using illusory items. They do not have to have godly powers to do a magic trick. I can do a magic trick, and it has nothing to do with magic powers. It's the tools I'm using to create that illusion.
And you have legal evidence to support your claims?
I have legal evidence.
Yes.
I have the materials where I can sit and show kids. I have an entire magic kit that I do when I entertain children.
So you can show me how you split a person in half, and then you show me that, and I'll believe you.
Oh, I've never done anything on that level.
I'm just saying, we're talking.
But it's all an illusion. They have never split a person in half.
And you have legal evidence to support that.
Why do I need it? Because if they split somebody in half, it would kill them. You know it's an illusion.
Do you know what godly powers are? Evidently, you don't know what that is.
Do I know what godly powers are? Do I know the power of the God that I believe in? Yes.
Yeah, it's called you can split people in two, keep them alive. That's what godly powers is.
Yeah, but magicians don't do that.
I see. You have legal evidence to support this?
Boy.
I do.
That you and I are going to be able to have the outcome that you're expecting on this conversation. Because it appears we have a very vast difference of interpretation in, I honestly don't believe that God and I would be having this kind of a conversation, because God would be talking to me about things I could do to help people, the things I could do to make life better, how you reach out in kindness and loving gentleness and help the poor and feed the hungry and those kinds of things.
Well, perhaps a child of God would help Jesus to maybe inform people of inform the public about this important thing that maybe they could maybe make some inventions from, make some money from. But you don't wish to do that. So I have legal evidence to support what I'm saying, by the way. That's why I ask you if you have legal evidence to support it. I do.
I don't know what value it is, so.
If I may, there's this guy in Florida. His name is James Randi. And you said that godly powers exist. Well, only in the Bible and in religion will they talk about it, but that's what I'm talking about legally in the courtroom. Now, there's this guy named James Randi. He will swear and he'll take people to court over the fact that the Bible is incorrect, that supernatural does not exist, that God does not exist, that godly powers does not exist, that you would be wrong totally up and down everything you've been saying up to this point. The thing is I took him to court and challenged him about me being God, and you know what? He never told me that I wasn't.
So? that's not what you go to, I mean, that isn't something that the court will do. That's not their job. That's never been what our courts are designed for.
No, the courts are designed for, how many jumping jacks you can do. What I'm saying is, you take people to court so that you can find out the truth. And so I took him to court, sued him. I sued him for, he has $1 million challenge, by the way. So he's a magician, by the way. So I was suing a magician for the fact that he's got $1 million challenge to say that he has nothing supernatural. You see, the magicians are conducting a joke, a prank, a con, saying that they don't have these powers, and yet when I asked him, I said, tell me you don't, and I'll drop the lawsuit. Tell me I'm not God, I'll drop the lawsuit. Tell me this. I gave him like 8 criteria. I said, say any of these items, and I'll drop the lawsuit. And he didn't say it.
But he has no reason to say it. I'm not sure why you think you are accomplishing anything there, but let's get back to what you're calling for this event. I could try to understand and interpret where your mind is at, and I'm afraid that I will never get there. So as far as this organization is concerned, tell me what your question is for here.
Well, what I'm trying to convince you is that what I'm doing is an idea. It is definitely an idea that can be patented from others through new use.
All you can do is apply for, fill out our registration form, submit the fee, and our judging committee would analyze it and determine if you meet the criteria. And if you do, we will take the money and you will have a booth to exhibit. If not, we notify you that that you have not met what we have considered the basis for our show. We literally have a manufacturing entity. I mean, that is what our purpose is to show products to produce for economic development. It is not the esoteric or the theoretical or the potentials of the unknown. It is the tangibles that we have always exhibited. So, you can submit your registration, and we go from there.
I do have one product that is on the market right now, but it is not tangible. It's called Truth Under Oath. It works in the courtroom. That's how I found out about all this stuff. It's actually, I realized that I had Godly Powers and an invention at the same time through Truth Under Oath, which basically keeps people from lying while under oath. It's the reason why I ask a person, hey, did you trip me? And they say nothing. They have to plead the fifth, because if they trip me, they can't lie. So this is actually in service right now. Now, I don't need a patent for this one because it is only created by me, so I didn't need a patent. But the reason why I needed the patent in the first place is because magicians were lying, and that's how I caught them. That's how I caught David Copperfield. That's how I catch everybody in the courtroom lying to me. And that's the reason why I have legal evidence to support what I'm doing. So I have a product, but I need the patent on Godly Powers so that other people can create cool inventions with it, at the same time get the magicians from lying to us about having these powers in the first place. You see?
I do not understand why you would be going after that, but that's not my call.
Well, no, it's called I know, Sue. It's called money. I mean, they're suing because I'm suing because they have my powers, and they're using them to create large amounts of money. David Copperfield makes $50 million a year, right? And it's not just that, Sue. It's not just the money, but it's the concept. I'm bridging the gap on the world between the New Age. I am the Revelations. I am saying, listen, James Randi down in Florida will insist, and he'll take you to court saying that you're nuts for thinking that God even exists. Well, I took him to court saying, dude, how dare you? I'm like kind of on your side. Not only do I believe in God, but I believe I'm the Jesus man. So I took him to court saying, listen, dude, you're wrong for telling everybody they're wrong. So I'm suing you, letting you know that I'm right, you're wrong. And you know what? That's the reason why he couldn't tell me that I wasn't God, because it would be a lie. You get it?
Well,
So,
if you were God, I would hope you would be spending your time trying to figure out how to help the poor, how to help the hungry, how to feed them, and spending your energy there instead of in the court of law. It doesn't make sense.
Sue, really, seriously, think about what you're saying. I'm trying to get money. Why would I be getting money? Maybe to help out the poor. Think about it, Sue. Come on. Think about it a little bit.
I am thinking about it a
Think
lot,
about it.
and I
Don't
get it.
you almost sound like you're trying to get under my skin by saying that. Why don't you do something productive? What do you think I'm doing by trying to get money so that I can help out the poor, Sue? What do you think?
But how many have you won? Of all these lawsuits that you're talking about, how many cases have you won? It's like you need to change your angle and find a more positive way of going after this instead of being adversarial.
Sue, you've been doing this for 25 years?
Longer than that.
What's your last name?
It's not important.
It is, because I don't think you're appropriate. I don't know. I almost need to find out, maybe find out who your boss is. I don't understand this. You're ridiculing me on attempting to get money. You're making fun of me for the fact that I'm failing.
I'm puzzled. I am really challenged.
You make fun of me for failing and continuing to attempt to fail. You ridicule me about the number of times that I've failed. And then you say, why don't you do something productive like helping people, which is what I'm trying to do. It sounds like you're trying to make Jesus mad. I would like...
Jesus walked the earth and did great work. Great work.
And you have legal proof to back that up. What I'm saying, Sue, is
Faith is not based on that.
I'm the revelation, ma'am, and I don't know if I should be talking to you as far as you don't seem to support anything I'm doing. I seriously doubt that you ridicule everything I'm doing, which is not a child of God to me that would ridicule what I'm doing.
Wow. Okay, well then, you know what your options are here. If you want to fill out an application, fill out a registration form, it will be presented to the judging committee, and we can go from there. It's your call. Thank you.
Thank you for ridiculing me. Appreciate that. Conversation with that lady, and it just fumes me how people think that they're not being, I guess the word is how they think they're being proper, and yet they're just a retard. I don't really hate to use the word, but I think everybody thinks that I'm a retard, so I'm going to use it as well. Because it's probably a word I should have started using in my vocabulary about a year or two ago. Maybe 3 or 4, when I keep encountering these people, I just want to start issuing bombs, F-bombs, at these people. And this lady, Sue, was the same. And so I wrote up a letter right after that, and I waited, email, and I was going to email him, and I waited a few hours later to send it, and it's a nasty one. It's a nasty one, picking on her, and in there, I mean, it's basically a nastygram that I just figured was going to completely alienate me from the MIC, Minnesota Investors Congress, and I'll display the email in response to you. That's shocking. I'm still chuckling. The response came back, yeah, you're cool. Yeah, it's cool. Just fill out applications. I called her a retard and a smart ass, and I'm just thinking, this is the easiest way of making sure that I don't have to do this Minnesota Investors Congress. Just to alienate myself with them so that there's no way that they're going to come back and say, you know, yeah, just sign it up. Evidently, I didn't find Sue. This email did not find Sue. And I hope to God they have a recording. I mean, maybe they had a recording or something, because I mean, anybody that listens to this is just got to be flabbergasted at the stuff, at the idiocy of this person who's been doing it for 25 years or so, or 15 or 25 years. And the gall to say, it's just so smart ass. And it's so stupid, it's so retarded how, when she says something, what was it, why don't you do something productive like help the needy or something? I'm like, what do you think I'm trying to do? I'm trying to take from those who have money and give to those who need. God damn, where do you get your fucking brains from, right? I'm supposed to give to the needy without having anything. So I'm not supposed to have anything and still give. Well, I have to take in order to give. You stupid moron. I tell you, man, what is this? This is all I encounter is these arfing morons, man. Arfing, effing, farting morons. I have to come up with a word that makes me feel as good as the F-bomb. But it isn't. Effing isn't doing the trick. Farting. Freaking. God, I tell you, man. So that was my excitement for the day. It got me kind of got me worked up. Then the VA wants me to go see him, and they want me to conduct a runaround in order to go see him. I have to run in there. I don't know. Anyways, I wish I could put this thing on pause so you'd have to watch me dazing off into no man's land. I'm not dozing, it's just I'm thinking of something. There really isn't a whole lot of difference between the heaven state and this state. I mean, I wander off quite often in this state as well, but it's much more apparent in the heaven state. I haven't done anything since Tuesday. I think it's the last video. I think I had a Wednesday video, but yeah. I guess I'm just letting the I think I'm just going to wait until it's time. I thought it might be kind of, well, I'm going to this concert, Smash Mouth concert, and I thought it might be kind of interesting to see what it's like in that state. But I'm sure I'll have other opportunities, and so I'm gonna. If I can go a week without that would be. I'm curious. I got all my marbles. My things are different when you sleep. When you have a little bit of stuff in your system. I find it interesting. I mean, getting up in the morning is really interesting. I had this dream where it's like something is high and low at the same time, and I can't quite wake up because I can't break that threshold of the high and low. Weird, I can't break. It's like a high-low threshold that's at the same time. It's bizarre in the heaven world where you got the scale thing constantly weighing out all the time. It is weird, and yet it's extremely informative. It means something very important. God dang, I wish I would have known about this stuff 10 years ago, I mean, it is a tool that I can make use of once a week or once a month just to see where things are at. You can sort of see. It helps you think in different manners that helps my show along, and it helps me spiritually. Helps me actually have seems like more focus when I'm on Earth, more. I think it's more. I'm more intelligent. I was wondering if I was going to come back to normality. The sleeping was interesting. When I go to sleep,
what I do is I'll do a little meditation, try to get to sleep. I'll say, go to sleep, Chris. And I'll just talk to myself. And then what I'll do is I usually come up with a picture, a random picture that just shows up, and then I start wandering in this tranquility of whatever this picture, whatever this scene is. And even 2 days, even a day after this, after being in a heaven state, it's still a fluky. It can't quite focus. It can't quite set a scene, and I think everything's back to normal now. After 3 or 4 days now. 3 days. Today's third day. So it seems like everything's back to normal now. I'm going to just test that I just want to make sure that I'm not screwing anything up with my body. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do this every day and don't have any side effects. So I just want to make sure that. I also I just want to make sure of myself that I'm not hooked on this stuff. But I do find it to be an interesting tool. And boy, let me tell you, I look forward. If I can wait a week, I look forward to the fact that having that happy moment where I'm just so giggly at how effed up I am on this stuff. Because that is the funniest thing. When you're like effed up and you're like, this is the funniest thing, that people actually enjoy this. And then I understand why they don't giggle like I do. Because it's not as effed up after a while. If you're doing it quite often, you don't get effed up like that. But that is a funny state. That is really a hilarious state to be in. Thinking that people would enjoy that. It's just funny thinking that people would enjoy being in a state like that when you first try it and you are effed up. It's a funny thought, thinking that people actually enjoy this. But I do. I enjoy that moment when I'm laughing so hard that people actually enjoy it. And maybe it won't be so funny anymore because I now realize that they're not that effed up. They're not like that after they get used to it. So maybe it won't be as funny next time. But I tell you, other things are funny too. Everything, that is the fun. That is why I was giggling so hard. But it is. There's other things too that make me laugh. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might not make it a week, but we'll see here. Let's play it by ear. Got Smash Mouth Conch tonight, and we'll see what happens next. Alright, I'll sign off here.